Well, what up, and welcome to today's Mindset Masterclass. We've got a treat for you. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we are discussing how you, as a motivated and serious athlete, can begin to not only apply pressure, but to also alleviate pressure. Because how many of us know, depending on how you're looking at situations, sometimes it's about the ability to be able to apply the pressure, but sometimes it's about the ability to be able to alleviate the pressure. Where am I going with this? So I'm in the mind frame of you as an athlete, someone who is looking to have their greatest year yet, their greatest season yet, their greatest breakthrough as a high school athlete. We talk about it all the time, right? Whether it's going from someone who's off the team to someone who's on the team, or someone who's on the bench to someone who's playing a role, or someone who's playing a role to someone from someone who's playing a role to someone who's a starter, and from someone who's a starter to someone who's a star. So there's levels to this, and we're all trying to get to our next level. Now, with new levels, as the saying goes, as the cliche goes, new levels, new devils. So that means there are things that are going to unknown to who unbeknownst to us that are going to creep up and apply pressure sometimes. There are going to be situations where you're gonna have butterflies. You're gonna be nervous. Maybe it's your first 20-point game and now all of a sudden you're expecting that of yourself. Maybe you hit a big shot to help your team win a big game and now you're in the next moment and you're up at the free throw line and you're like, dang, I didn't even recognize that I would feel pressure. But before I was trying to prove myself. Now I have to prove I can do it again. That's a whole different type of pressure. Maybe you're someone who's used to coming off the bench, and some nights you had it great, some nights you didn't. Now you're a starter. You got to be consistent every night. And coaches are having that. I show up once every 2 or 3 games and play my best. It's a different type of pressure, right? Well, the flip side of that, in order to get to our next level, we have to be able to apply pressure to situations. We have to be able to squeeze every ounce of juice given the dynamic and the circumstances that we find ourselves in. And that's what we want to talk about today. So, first and foremost, applying pressure. I'm sorry, we're going to talk about alleviating pressure because this is the issue that I see. Number one, it stops a lot of student athletes from even wanting to get to the next level because they don't want to deal with that type of pressure. And I want to give you some tools to be able to get pressure off of you, to alleviate pressure. So here are some common pressures. There's the playing time pressure, right? You go to a game, you want to be playing. Not only do you want to play, but your parents want you to play. And you know what? No matter how much that you're playing, they want you to play more, right? So there's a playing time pressure that is palpable because every player on the team, other than one or two that probably don't leave the court, is very sensitive to their playing time and what that means. I always go back to the situation with Jason Tatum coming off of an NBA championship, a first team All NBA season, named to the USA team, was an all star, you name it, he did it this last year. Well, he was benched. And right, wrong, or indifferent, the team won without him. And so you can at least make the argument that Steve Kerr, given the situation with the Serbian team, they felt like Jason Tatum wasn't their best matchup. What am I saying? There are a lot of times where coaches get put in situations and they're forced to make a decision to go with who they think are the best five that are going to help the team to thrive at that given time. That's not a referendum on, well, this guy is a bad player or he or she was playing bad and so we didn't believe in them. That sometimes the two things don't equate, but everyone feels that pressure nonetheless. The other thing is playing your role can also apply pressure. Why? Because all of a sudden, as I mentioned earlier, you've got a name tag. You've got a specific role, specific position that people on your teammates are counting on you to fulfill. All of a sudden, you're the best. You've established yourself as the team's best rebounder or the second best rebounder, and the best rebounder is out or having a bad day. You've established yourself as the team's best ball handler under pressure. You've established yourself as one of the leading defenders on the team, and they depend on you for this. You've established yourself as one of the top scorers in the fourth quarter, and your team begins to depend on you for this. That can bring a certain set of pressures because oftentimes you don't know what you did to, to, to get to initiate the success in the first place. So, because you don't know the formula, it's very hard to replicate it. And that is what causes the pressure. Lastly, playing well. So you get over the hurdle of the playing time. You're out there on the court. You get over the hurdle of playing your role. You've gotten used to it. You've embraced where you are in the pecking order. Now you have to actually play well, night after night after night after night after night. That in and of itself brings another set of pressures. So you may be wondering, how do I actually go about alleviating any of these pressures? And I'm going to tell you the one thing that I did that always helped me to show up in the biggest moments. For me, it was all about the process. I was very routine as far as what I ate, what I did, how I warmed up, the music I listened to, the things I said to myself, my demeanor, everything, as you kids say today, keep that same energy. I was able to keep that same energy not only throughout the course of a season, but throughout the course of my entire career, not only throughout the course of my high school career, but we're talking college and pro. I was able to bottle up what made me successful and replicate it night after night after night. Think about it. Whether you go to McDonald's or Cane's or Whataburger or name a pizza place, Domino's, I don't know, whatever your favorite place is, they do things a certain way, right? They are very familiar with their formula for success, and so they don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah, they may have some months where they're like, man, we don't know why our numbers are down compared to KFC or compared to Burger King or whatever, but the answer is always in the formula. What is your formula? What are you doing on a regular basis before games? The night before games. I saw a study a couple months back that talked about the fact that so many shooters shot the ball 10 to 15% better when they got a good night rest the night before, just because shooting is so routinized that getting sleep and having more of their brain capacity and brain functionality available as a shooter help them to more properly calibrate their shot. I don't know, I didn't do the research, but what I'm saying is if you're a shooter and you find out that's what's working for you is getting a good night's sleep, well, doggone it, you better get a good night's sleep. Maybe it's drinking a juice. Maybe it's getting your foot right. I don't know, but you should know is the most important thing. And that's the biggest step to alleviating pressure. Now, let's talk about how we apply pressure because here's the deal. I don't think enough of us are applying pressure. And what do I mean by that? I mean that if you're someone who's always looking to level up, if you're someone who is on a team and you're playing a role, you have to have two mindsets. Number one, gratefulness, graciousness for being on the team, for being a part of something bigger than yourself. Graciousness, thankfulness for what the coaches see in you. That's the one hand. But on the other hand, I gotta get to this next level. I gotta push myself. I got to push the dynamic of the situation. I got to let everybody and everything know, namely myself, that even though I'm comfortable and even though I'm content, I'm not comfortable. Let me say that again. You have to let everyone and everything in that environment know that even though you're content, you're not comfortable. And you have to always be applying pressure. Think about the late great Kobe Bryant. He was always applying pressure. You think of someone in the business realm like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. These people are always applying pressure. They're always trying to push the next button to see what is the next formula to get them to the next level. So, as student athletes, you've got a limited time. You've got 4 years. Every single day and every single way that you can, you have to try to apply pressure because it is so easy to get comfortable. It is so easy to say, I'm gonna just wait my turn. It's easy, and actually, it's a part of the process. Now, with that being said, you don't get past that unless you're applying pressure. So let's talk about some things you need to apply pressure. Number one is a sense of urgency. How are you showing up every day? Now that the season's about to start, you've been practicing for about 2 months? Have you taken your foot off the gas? Have you stopped trying to get 1% better every single day? Have you relegated and receded in your energy where, man, I'm tired of playing against my teammates every day? No, there's a way to go deeper. There's a way to get more. Maybe you're missing your left hand layups. Maybe you're not handling the press good. Maybe you're missing free throw. There's always an area in which we can grow. Maybe you're not good as a leader, or maybe your body language or your communication with your coaches and teammates needs to improve. That is a sense of urgency. Every day I'm trying to take a step because I know once I do, I build brick upon brick upon brick. Eventually somebody's going to take notice. Okay. So having a sense of urgency is going to help us apply pressure to our situation and eventually knock that wall down and experience breakthrough. The other thing is a sense of faith because, like I said, you have to be double minded. So, although you're someone who is pushing. I have this sense of urgency. I want to get to my next level. I'm doing everything as though it all depends on me, but I also understand that everything isn't done by me. There's a faith element to this. There's got to be something that's bigger than you that's going to cause your breakthrough. But here's the thing. It's your responsibility to be ready when the breakthrough happens. Are you prepared for the extra playing time? Are you prepared for the extra responsibility? Because it's absolutely going to come. But when you're in between in the valleys, you're coming off the mountaintop and you're in a valley and you're waiting for the next breakthrough, you have to have faith. And that is internally, in between our ears, in between our shoulder blades, in our heart, where we truly believe that our time is coming. We truly believe that the work's going to pay off. We truly believe that all the pain, whether it's from embarrassment, whether it's from injuries, whether it's from, hearing negativity, whatever the case may be, this is all for my good. This is all about making me better. Okay. So you have to be practicing a sense of faith. Every day you walk in the gym and you don't feel like it. Every day you walk in the weight room. Every day you wake up early or have to stay up late. Every day your body's sore. Every day you don't want to do it anymore. You've got to go into that faith element and just tell yourself, this is amounting to something. This is how I accomplish my goals. This is how I get to my dreams. This is this inner thing, this inner urge to be more than what I am right now. I'm moving towards that. Okay, and that's nothing but faith. Then you have to have a sense of growth. And this is kind of a mixture of the two because you have urgency, push, 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 push. You have faith, which is believe, believe, believe in the middle of the push. But then you have to have a sense of growth because ultimately your answer is always going to come from you getting better. And what do I mean by that? Getting better internally, getting better externally, improving in your craft, improving in your mindset, improving in your maturity. Know that the way through that door, the way through that breakthrough comes from you growing as not only a player, but also as a person. In order to do that, you have to be open to that as an athlete. You have to be open to growth. That, man, I just made a mistake. Coach benched me. I'm mad. It wasn't my fault. That wasn't my man that scored. That wasn't my girl that hit the game winning layup. But there's something for you to take from that situation. Like coach isn't completely wrong. Your teammate or your parent or whoever the case may be that called you out and said you could be better. I work hard. How can he tell me I gotta be better? Because ultimately, no matter what, for you to get to, there's a reason you're not where you want to be. It's because you're not the person that that situation calls for. Think about where you are right now. Maybe you just became a varsity starter. Were you ready for that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? You were a different person. You didn't have the same strength. You had to get older, taller, more mature, more experienced, stronger. You've been in the weight room. Your cardio's better. You can shoot it better. You can handle it better. You're more mature as far as dealing with teammates. Your body language is better. You leveled up to get to where you are now. So what makes you think you're not going to need to level up to get to your next level? Doesn't make sense, right? So you have to be open to growth. What am I talking about? When the coach benches you and yells at you, do you shut down? When your mom or dad get you in the car after the game, are you open to what they're telling you? Are you shutting that down? Are you completely against anything that involves you having to step up and get better? You get what I'm saying? That's how we apply pressure. I've got a sense of urgency. I'm on it every single day. My energy is relentless. I have a sense of faith because even when I have a bad day, a bad moment, a bad situation, I still believe this is for me. But then I've got a sense of growth that when the urgency and the faith run up against each other and somebody's trying to teach me something or the situation is calling for me to level up, I'm open to the challenge. Okay, so I hope this helps. As always, tune in every Saturday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for our Mindset Masterclass. Hey, we're helping athletes get to their next level. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share, and continue to rock with us.